Hi there. Today we're going to make use of the condition selection relative odds, which is a condition that allows us to compare the odds of two selections within an event. And we're going to use that to set up a little strategy whereby we back the favourite in a dog race, but only if that favourite is in trap 1. So I've got an empty demo here. Let me just add in the rule. I won't bother adding in all the guff, but one thing we do need to change is the start time. So we'll set that to 30 seconds before. You may want to put that nearer the off time, but that's just to give me a little time to play. The action tab, we are going to bet. Now your first reaction might be to, since we want to back the favourite, is simply choose bet for your row number 1. Keeping in mind, of course, that the runners in a dog race are listed by trap number. Unlike any other event where, generally speaking, the favourite's at the top. And that applies whether it's an Australian race where there's 8 runners, or indeed in the UK where traditionally there's only 6. So we're going to back trap 1. We'll just put in best back odds, £10. Everything else we can leave. Let us get on to the conditions, which are the important part. So selection relative odds. And here we're given two options to specify two different selections. So we're interested in trap 1. So we can leave that top one as is, because that will point to trap 1 in the Betfair default grid. We need to consider the second favourite, because if we compare the odds in trap 1 to whatever is the second favourite, if the odds for the runner in trap 1 is less than that of the second favourite, by definition the runner in trap 1 must be the favourite. So what we're going to do is select this based on position, i.e. back odds, and we're going to change that to position 2. So we're looking for the second favourite. Keep in mind that this effectively reorders that list internally as far as Fairbot is concerned, so that it's based on back odds, not trap order. So we're looking for the second favourite by specifying a 2 here. Then we're going to say the selection's best back odds should be less than selection B's best back odds. And because we're looking at the second favourite, that must mean that selection A is the favourite, assuming that that statement is true. Just an aside, however, that would only need to be different by 1 tick. You may want a bigger difference there. So if you were to go in and choose, let's say, minus 10 ticks, what that means is that selection A's best back odds must be less than selection B's best back odds minus 10 ticks. In other words, there must be a gap of at least 10 ticks between the two. So you can use these controls here to increase the check, or the gap between the two that you're checking, I should say. I'm just going to leave it at set at 0, just for the purposes of this exercise. So that's us all set up effectively. So we're going to compare the odds of the runner in trap 1 to the odds of the second favourite. And assuming that trap 1 is identified as the favourite, it will place a bet at £10 at the current back odds. Let's just save all that and find the next race that's free. Right, this one. Now clearly trap 1 is nowhere near the favourite. It's actually trap 3. So what I'll do is I'll leave the strategy as is and let you see that the bet doesn't go in, and then hopefully I'll have time. In actual fact, let me just pull up the strategy editor again, and I shall adjust this to give me a minute, so that I've got time to go back in and change the settings and do it again. So clearly, trap 1 is not the favourite, so we shouldn't get a bet going in. And then I'll quickly change that to trap 3. So we'll assign the strategy. We've got a minute to go, so this row should be firing very soon. Okay, so there's it tried to fire, but the condition clearly isn't true. 150 isn't less than 3.6. Okay, so trap 1 isn't a favourite, so the bet doesn't go in. Let me quickly change that. So we need to action tab, change that to trap 3 since we know that's a favourite. Conditions that we want to do trap 3. Save that. And when I save this, this should automatically fire, hopefully. There you go. 2.3 less than 3.8. And the bet goes in. So that is how you use the selecting relative odds condition to control a bet going in based on the comparison between two runners and their corresponding odds. Okay guys, thanks very much.